Greetings, salutations, respect, and love. I am Scott. You are in the Prog Corner, where today we have a very special guest live from, well, he's not from Mars or the moon or anything like that, although the audio might beg to differ. He's coming to us from Germany. It's not, Kevin, can you believe this? Can you believe who we have on the channel today? Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, cats and kittens, it's none other than Nad Sylvan. Nad, welcome to the show, sir. Welcome.
That was a nice welcoming. Thank you very much.
Oh, I am absolutely honored to have you on the show. Been a big fan ever since I discovered you via, well, I was a big Roine Stolt fan. So anything he was associated with, I was going to dig my teeth into. And wouldn't you know, something called, I don't know, Agents of Mercy come up with this out. Hey, there we go. Here we go. Look at that. Look at that, Nad. Kevin's got the whole layout here. 2008, the Unifon record came out. I came to that later on. I came to you with the first Agents of Mercy album, The Fading Ghosts of Twilight. Amazing. And then Drama Rama and Black Forest. But unbelievable stuff there. So then I backtracked to Unifon. But I think a lot of our fans here would like to hear a little bit about how Unifon came to be. How did you find this cat, man?
Cool.
Bonich, what's his name? What do they call him?
Let me dial this up again, okay?
You're going to try again? You see, we've got slight technical difficulties. Yeah, we're going to try here in a minute. He's trying to, he's in a hotel room. It's not all glitz and glamour, boys and girls.
And he's just gotten off a 9-hour ride from Berlin. So he's just been sitting in a car for 9 hours.
Before we bury the lead too deep, I do have it on the crawl going underneath us here. Nad has a brand new album coming out. There it is. June 22nd on Inside Out Music. It's called Monumentata. Hopefully we'll get Nad back on the same planet as us, and he can explain to us a little bit about what that title means. But it is an amazing record. And Kevin, do you have the graphic about who all plays on this thing? Here we go. Let's take a look at this. Okay. Lale Larson, who is now a member of the Flower Kings. Joe Dennison, who is a member of Kansas. David Kolar, who's been on a couple of Steven Wilson albums, right? Randy McStein, Tony Levin, Nick Beggs, Jonas Reingold, Marco Minimum, Felix Learman from the Flower Kings, Mirko de Mayo also from the Flower Kings. I mean, come on, man. That's like we were talking about some of these records that have come out lately, like Car Mechanic, that just reads like this all-star lineup. This is an all-star lineup here, and you have not heard the whole album yet, have you, Kevin?
No, I've heard the two singles, and it's not only an all-star lineup from Sweden, which some of them do. No, he's getting them all.
Yeah,
I guess when you play with Hackett, you meet everybody at some point, and you can use these guys. So good lineup.
So the story of Nad, since it's going to be hard for him to tell, I guess he does record this Unifon record. I guess they've been working on it for quite some time, but it was 2008 that it finally got on some kind of a label. I think it was done in like 2006. I think he had recorded a couple years earlier, finally got out there in 2008. And Roine Stolt hears it. That's kind of cool, right? Roine Stolt hears it, and Agents of Mercy's born. Do you like the Agents of Mercy, Kevin?
I love it all. Yeah, absolutely. I love the Unifon album. I mean, that's the missing Genesis album in my mind.
Yeah.
They met on a chat room or something from Genesis fans, these two guys. And so it sounds so much like Genesis, but that's not a bad thing at all.
No.
And then the three Mercy albums are all great.
I love all three. I really do.
Absolutely.
Especially the last one, that Black Forest record. But the second and the third one both had Lale Larson on it. So with him on the new record, it's almost like a return to Agents of Mercy at times on the new Nad Sylvan record. You know, he's tried a couple times. Have you seen him pop there in the
I
green?
see him when he's trying. Yeah.
He's trying to pop up, and thank God we didn't try this as a live episode.
Oh yeah,
you know,
would have been a problem
because we're almost at that point, right? Where if he pops back on, we're just gonna have to do a restart.
Yeah.
But we're not there yet, boys and girls. We're not there yet at all. Tune in tomorrow when we will be having Brian Coombs from the Rocking Horse Music Club. Kevin, I know you're a big fan.
Big fan. Yeah, he did a guest DJ spot today, told some stories, played some great music. He definitely, based on the music he played, you know where his style comes from when he's doing Rocky Horse, because you hear it in everything that he played today. You hear it in this music that he's creating. So
now you had Brian's last album as your number one album. What year was it? Was that 2022? Yeah.
2022. Yeah, that was an ambitious album. I mean, that had a lot of people on it. Conceptual double album, different people playing different parts. This one's also a thematic album, but not quite as complex as Circus. So it's different, but I really like it.
Okay, so is it a candidate for Album of the Year 2025?
Well, it'll be hard to compete because I love Circus so much, and so it's a great album. But Circus just hit me at a special way to make it Album of the Year.
Yeah.
Whether they can do that a second time, that'll be tough to say, because there's been some great albums this year.
And that's why it's really hard for me to have a record, like an artist have the best album like 2 years in a row, 3 years in a row, or anything like that, because I'm in a different place usually as a person.
Well, it's like Pattern Seeking Animals. Yeah. Every one of their albums are great, but you're always going to get hit that first time when you hear the band,
Yeah.
And then after that, it's like, oh yeah, they're still great. Oh yeah, they're still great.
Yeah. And I know he's moving the needle a little bit, but I like the fact that if it's John Baygold, you kind of know it's John, right?
Yeah.
There's Nad trying to get on here again. There he is. Let's see what we got going on this time. Let's see if we can, as long as we can see that beautiful hair and that beautiful face, all is well in the world, Nad.
Now there's no audio.
Yeah, now we got nothing. We just got him frozen. Man. No bueno, Kevin. No bueno.
No bueno.
Yeah. Oh man, that's terrible. It reminds me of when I was doing the live show out of the hotel room, and you're at the mercy of the hotel's Wi-Fi, right? Yeah. And checkout time was at noon.
Oh, that latest knock! We got all that on the live feed.
And my main concern was like, do you kick me off of the Wi-Fi exactly at noon, right? Because I kind of need this. I'm in the middle of something here. Oh yeah, they were knocking right. Hello, housekeeping.
And you were so casual about it, man. When I'm in a hotel and they tell me it's time to get out, I get out. You're like, oh, I'll be there. I'm coming.
Yeah,
you look like you didn't have a care in the world.
I was trying to hide it. I was freaking out because I knew it was going to be tight. And you know how it goes when you're doing the shows. Because I usually have a time thing anyway on the Sunday shows. It's my wife.
Yeah.
That's how I kind of time everything out. So there's always that internal pressure to get things done ahead of deadline, or at least on time. So yeah, I tried to play that off, but oh boy.
Have you ever had your wife on the show, Scott?
Negative.
We all want to meet her because you make her out to be the bad guy that's always reeling you out of there.
No. She's awesome. She's the one who allows all this nonsense to happen.
Yeah, well, right? She has to be. She has to be awesome to let all this go on. I know how hard of work it is. I do the same thing with Prog Radio, and my wife doesn't care. So, I mean, she's very supportive. She likes the
yeah,
time alone.
you have to have a wife that allows you to pursue different things. Otherwise, this is would never have happened without her full support for it. Because it interferes with our time together, and it takes up a big chunk of my week. It really does. Thinking about episodes and planning episodes and coming up with thumbnails and booking the guests and doing this and doing that, and doing the other thing. And, with that in mind, Nad's trying one more time, and we're going to keep at it until we succeed. Nad, yes.
Listen what I did. I went on, I just fucked my iPad. So I went on my iPhone and 4G. It's much better than the, very unstable hotel Wi-Fi. I'm sorry about this. I couldn't do much
That's
about
working now.
Oh, this is the kind of stuff that my audience absolutely loves. They don't come to the Prog Corner for, the glitz and the glamour, right? They come here because they know they're going to get the real deal. And the real deal is Nad Sylvan, his brand new album, Monumentata. What's that mean?
Oh, I thought maybe you saw the liner notes or something. Okay, well, in very short, I'll abbreviate this story. I lost my parents within 16 years or 15 years. Yeah, my dad passed away last year at age 96. And my dad was half Hungarian. And Tata is daddy in Hungarian. And losing my dad was, actually both my parents, was monumental to me, because I felt I sort of stepped into a new phase of my life where, you know what I mean? It's monumental. Yeah, I'm the next one to go, I guess,
Yeah.
So I just combined those two words and turned it into Monumentata.
And it sounds cool.
So
together,
it's basically
right?
a sentiment. It's a sentiment of loss. I guess. But the thing is, if you discover, if you listen to the title track of the album, we were never really very much in touch. Me and my dad, it never really happened. And so once it was gone, it was more like, okay, that was that then, all the chances are blown.
It's a beautiful album. Fine. I actually just got the album 2 days ago, Nad. And so I've listened to it 3 times. And the 1, 2, 3 punch of Secret Lover, That's Not Me, and the Monte Carlo Priceless song, that 1, 2, 3 punch start to the album, I'm thinking it might be the best thing you've ever done.
Who knows? Thank you. Well, one tends to think that about past every album I make. It's like, oh, this has got to be the best, or this is going to be the best. So I very rarely go back and listen to my previous stuff. I'm still very proud of an album I did back in the 17s called The Bride Said No. And I think this album sounds a little bit more like what I was doing back then than anything else I've done. I like to rock out, and
there we go. Here, Kevin's got your discography laid out for all the good little boys and girls here, Nad. Hold on, here we go.
Oh,
there we go. That's the whole kit and caboodle right there. The Bride Said No, man. I think a lot of people probably gravitate towards that one. The world famous guitar solo. We all know what we're talking about here, but that is a great, look at what an amazing discography.
You're talking about the track. You're talking about the ballad. Talking about how you're done with Steve and Guthrie trading solos at the end.
You see, I didn't have to name the track. I did. Yeah, when I did the best guitar solos in the history of Prog, I think I had that right up there in the top 10. Just look at that. Look at Steve and Nad together. Let's talk a little bit more about your album in a minute. But take me back to 2012, Nad, right? What was it, like April 2012?
No, I'll tell you.
You get a phone call, right? That changes your life.
Actually, we're getting close to that date. It was May 16th. No, hang on. April the 16th. You're right. April the 16th. I've got this phone call from Steve. I'd just been working my night shift, and I was asleep. I was fast asleep, and he called me, and we talked for 30 minutes, and then he invited me over to check me out, you know. So on May the 16th, I flew over to London just to meet him and his wife, Jo. And he already basically decided that he wanted me in the band, but he still wanted to meet me and, you know, check me out as a person, I guess. I mean, who wouldn't if you want to employ somebody?
And it's
So,
more than just the job, man, because you're not, it's when you're touring with somebody, you
yes.
kind of got to know that something's clicking, right? Because you got to live kind of in close quarters and stuff. So, yeah, it's important
Well,
to get along.
well, now I've been touring with him for 12 years. I can honestly say that Steve is the guy in the band, if you want to call it a band, but you know what I mean, the guy in the entourage that I feel closest to mentally. I mean, we click on many levels. We have very much in common. I mean, like our histories is crazy. How my mom was 19 when she had me. His mom was 19 when she had him. So we have very similar upbringing in a way. But also musically, we just click. We understand each other totally. I mean, what can I say? I'm a lucky guy.
Yeah. That had to have been an amazing moment, though. Steve Hackett's calling. Oh, and you were no young spring chicken. What were you, like 53 at that time?
I was 53 going on 50. No, hang on. No, I was 52 going on 53.
Uh,
In 2000, I was born in 59. So in 12, I must have been turning 53 in the summer. Yeah.
Now, Kevin, I don't know about you, but there's just some people, certain people, you just know they were destined for it, right? They were supposed to be big. They were supposed to have the limelight. Uh, Talk to me about your early days, your early influences, because yeah, maybe it took a little while to happen, Nad, but it happened. It's well deserved. It was not luck. It was when, what's the old saying, when opportunity is just when hard work meets what is the saying? That's what it is with this guy, man. He had everything he needed, and then the opportunity came. He was ready for it. What were your early memories of music, and why did you go down that path in life?
We had a square piano in our sitting room. I was raised by my grandparents and in Malmo, southern Sweden. And, before, I mean, I must have been 4, 5, 6 years old or something. I just taught myself to the piano and started to pick up melodies I heard on the radio, and not long after that, I started to come up with my own bits. And basically, since then on, I've been going at it, So basically, all my life, I've been drawn to music and composing, whatever. I started to do my own recordings at home, my home recordings back in, I'd say, 1980, 81, something like that. I got this little four-track cassette recorder called Porter Studio.
Oh yeah.
And I had a Yamaha grand piano, electric grand piano, CP80, I think it's called. And I just started from there, really, and got better gear throughout the years, and was different bands back then. But music has always been there for me. I can't really explain why. It's just always been there. It's my vocabulary.
I think that's the way a lot of prog rock fans process the whole world is via music. At least I do. I don't know. I'm funny like that, but talking about the new Nad Sylvan record, Monumentata, comes out June 22nd on the mighty Inside Out
No,
Music.
20th.
June 20.
June 20?
It's on. It's on the 20th. Yeah, yeah.
June 20. Okay. And there's another release on Inside Out Music that you have a slight involvement with, right? There's a brand new Steve Hackett live album that they just announced. They put a little video up for The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. This thing is called The Lamb Stands Up, live at the Albert Hall.
That's right. Yeah, this is the
That comes out
second.
July 11th, I think, right?
Yeah, July 11th. That's the second live album from Albator we've done. The first one came out in 14, and it's my ninth live album with Steve. So they are getting quite. They're coming up in numbers.
Yeah, I didn't know there were 9.
Those live recordings. Yeah,
I didn't know there were 9. That's
yeah.
crazy.
There will be. This will be the ninth with me included.
Right. Yeah, just with you.
That's about one a year since you've been doing it with him.
Almost, yeah, one every 15 months or something like that. That's awesome. But this one here, you've got the A team. Of course, you've got Steve. You've got Nad. You've got Rob Townsend. You've got Roger King. You've got Craig Blundell. Jonas Reingold. It's a mighty cast, and kind of almost reads like the cast of your new album. Here we're showing the lineup here. Look at all these folks on the brand new Nad Sylvan album, boys and girls. Lale Larson from the Flower Kings, Joe Dennison from Kansas, David Kohler from Steven Wilson. Who's Neil Whitford?
He's the guy who played some atmospheric guitars on my previous album, Spiritus Mundi.
Ah, okay.
That is recommended by Andrew Latris, who I co-wrote and recorded that album with. Neil's got this knack for just those eerie notes that somewhere in the background, that just, like a Joni Mitchell album, the guitar licks that just comes in and out, this early 70s stuff I'm talking about now. And he's got the knack for that. And I just felt, yeah, I need him on this track, So I just asked him, and it was very, very kindly said, "Of course, I'll record for you." So
nice.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching an old interview with Nad, Kevin. You know how I do. You know how I like to research stuff. And Nad was talking about once upon a time he was in this little band called One by One, right? And
oh my goodness, that's 40 years ago.
And apparently, have you heard this story? Apparently, Lionel Richie's coming to town.
Oh my goodness! Don't bring that up.
And he's doing a couple dates in Sweden, right? Doing a couple dates in Sweden, and this band One by One, they're up and comers, man. They got a little bit of talent, they got a little bit of riz, as the kids say nowadays. So they're gonna open for Lionel Richie. So what does your boy Nad do? What does your boy Nad do?
At the time, I was 27 at the time, and we hadn't been playing together for more than a year. And then we got this offer to be the support act to Lionel Richie, 2 big shows, like 12,000 punters per night. And I got this throat infection going, something. I strained my voice too much during rehearsals, so they gave me whiskey in order to relax the muscles or whatever, and I was pissed out of my skull on stage. It was a disaster. But now it's 38 years ago. I laugh about it now, but I didn't laugh about it then. That was horrendous. But lesson learned: never drink before a show, and I never do.
Yeah, that's probably good advice, boys and girls. And you can probably just replace drink with whatever it is. It's remain sober. It's the best drug there is, kiddies. But I love that story though. That's hilarious.
I drink plenty of water. Yeah, plenty of water before show. That's for sure. To keep myself hydrated. If I have a show at 8 o'clock at night, I start drinking water around 2 regularly, to just make sure all that water is being transported up here where it needs to go, to keep myself lubricated, because I made my mistakes, believe me. So no, I don't know. I'll have the odd drink after the show sometimes.
But I'm sorry, Kevin, can you think of a harder gig? Here we go. Yeah, the good news is, we're bringing you on. You're going to go on tour with Steve Hackett, right? The bad news is every single person in that audience is going to be judging you and comparing you and contrasting you and deriding you because you don't sound like Peter Gabriel. Oh, you sound too much like Peter Gabriel. You don't sound anything like Phil Collins. Oh, you sound too much like Phil Collins. This guy can't win no matter what. I mean, how did you deal with the fans, their expectations, and all that stuff? Or did you not care?
Well, the early years, you know, with Steve, of course, you know, I was, you know, getting up there from being absolutely an obscure person. Nobody's heard of me. And I was sucking it in, you know. I was, oh, God, some people love me, some hate me. Most people hated me. And I was thinking, they don't know me because they don't even know what a nice guy I am. But being nice has nothing to do with it. It's like what you present on stage, you know. So I was very hurt initially, but now all that hatred has turned into love because I never see anything negative written about me these days. It might be the odd comment sometimes, but something.
No, you're right. You're right. They have definitely This is a classic case, Kevin, of a hostile audience, and he won them over.
I've seen Steve Hackett live several times. Obviously, I've seen Nad several times, and the people that I sit around when they announce him or when he comes out, you'll hear, "Oh, it's Nad, it's Nad." I mean, those days are gone where they're doing the comparison, all that. He is Steve Hackett's singer.
I think what they basically gotten used to me by now. You know, they just know that Nad's going to sing the songs we've heard him before. What they might do is to compare me to what I used to sound before, because my voice has matured a lot over the years. And I keep reading that, you know, people say, oh, Nad is getting better and better and better. And that's true, because I'm getting stronger. The voice is strong. I mean, you should see my abdomen. It's just like, it looks like I'm almost like I'm fat, but I've got an abdomen that stands out. I'm so strong. It's crazy. I must be doing something right, I guess.
It's the diaphragm. He's singing from the diaphragm, boys and girls. All you, you know, singing coaches out there.
Yeah.
Take some pointers here.
Yeah, diaphragm is mandatory. I mean, it's paramount. Sorry, it's mandatory if you want to be a singer. But to find out just the posture, keep the posture right, fill your lungs with air. It makes a huge difference. You know, depending on what notes you're going to sing. You're going to go sing the really high notes. You need all the support you can get.
Yeah.
You always need support, but those high notes can be quite challenging in my age, because I'm turning 66 next month. So it can be hard, but I've sort of managed now, and what can I say? I'm just very happy that it's still working.
Yep, he's still got it. It's still working, and you know, more importantly is the fact that on your new album, Monumentata, I honestly think that your songwriting is getting better, and this is something that's kind of tricky for me, because a lot of times when songwriters that I like and I enjoy, all of a sudden they get a little bit of notoriety, right? They like forget how to write a good song. And I see it so often, it drives me crazy. And that's not the case here, man. This is a super strong album. It sounds like you're writing from a different place on this album. A different headspace entirely, and I dig it. Tell me about the record and your songwriting process here, because it just feels a little stronger than in the past.
Jonas Rangel, you know, in his Hackett band, been my friend for many years now. He once told me, we were comparing my writing with Roine Stolt's writing, and he said, Roine is patchy in his writing, you know, he just glues bits together. Well, not always, but you know, in general, compared to my writing, I'm more of a linear writer. You know, I have bits that very much question of writing. You have a little figure, a little bit, and there will be an answer, like next bar, and you can go into the next theme, or what do you say, part of a song.
Right.
That will connect to what I just did. You know what I mean? It's like it will connect to what I just did. So it has a logic to it that I guess that's gotten a bit stronger these days. And melodies super important to me. Good melodies and a nice groove.
Yeah.
And lovely chord structures, chords that touches you, and always the unexpected thing, oh, did it go there? Oh, wow, I wouldn't expect that. Stuff like
Yeah.
that. I even
That's-
surprise myself sometimes when I write.
I love that. That's probably the most important thing for me. I need to be surprised every now and then, if not the lyrical content, then the song structure, or even just that chord. That what? Why did he choose that chord in that particular spot? I need that little bit of surprise in music, and you get some on these records. The track "Wildfire." I dig that track, man. That
Yeah.
that was another standout track for me. Uh, and then make somebody proud.
Yeah, that's a good one. That how that song came about is just extraordinary, because that whole verse riff, the whole segment that I sang,
Yeah.
it's been in my head for a couple of years. And then I had just sort of, this layout of ideas for songs, and I had my DAW, and I just had this bit that I got to work with this. I got to work with this. This is a stand-up bit. And little did I know that would become the chorus of the song. And then when I added on, and I just glued those two together, and it made perfect sense. Once again, you have that linear thinking.
Yeah.
The sort of repeats what I did in the choruses, rhythmically, and I don't know, and I think that comes from the subconsciousness. See, I'm not even aware of how my brain is working. It just connects in a certain way, and I think that's just being an experienced writer. I guess it comes from that. That's my best answer. If you like.
I love that. I love that track. Kevin hasn't heard the whole album yet. He's just heard the two
Just
singles.
the singles. We've been playing them.
That's Not Me was the first single. That is a great choice for a first single, because it comes out of the gates right away. Mission statement. This is prog rock. If you don't like prog, you might be in the wrong place. I love that kind of amount of sure-footedness from an artist, instead of like, oh, we don't want to advertise that we're prog. We're going to hide. We're going to disguise our progginess. Not here, boys and girls. Nad tells you everything you need to know in the first 15 seconds of the song. It's absolutely dynamite. That's Not Me. Any thoughts about that track?
Showcases my more funky side, I guess.
Yeah.
So I'm a funky guy, and you will hear a lot of funky undertones in my music. Always has been like that ever since the 80s, really. I just like a nice groove. And you don't necessarily need to be dancing to my music, but I just like, I don't know. It's just I gotta get into the groove. You know what I mean?
Hey, and I know that's true, Nad, because I
don't hear that much of.
I just listened to what's that album you put out? I think in 2003, Sylvanite, and that definitely has some of that groovy kind of stuff going on there.
That's true. That's very much me. It's just like a nice groove. So That's Not Me is very much in the same kind of vein like I was writing back in the early 2000s. But it's unwittingly, really. It's just whatever comes out. That was basically written on the guitar, that song. Where ideas are just something in my head. My keyboard.
We're starting.
It was actually my label.
There he comes. You're getting a little pixelated and a little robot-y in the audio now, Nad. I think you might be back.
Oh. Well, it was my label who wanted to release that as a first single, and I agreed. It'd be nice for a first single. And then moving into Monte Carlo Priceless, which is, it shows it's a different side of me, of course, but It's one of the earliest songs I wrote for them. Wildfire and Monte Carlo was the early songs written in 2021 and 22.
And those are definitely two of my
Are
favorite
you
tracks
still?
on the album. We're still
Well,
getting a little
but I
delay
have
in
a
the
song.
audio, but we got a
Okay.
good chunk of good audio there, with some actual good Wi-Fi from the hotel. You know, Kevin, I thought the Germans had their Wi-Fi down a little bit better than that in their hotels for rock stars on
Well,
tour.
I'll tell you what's going on. We're actually on my 4G at the moment because I thought that the
Oh,
Wi-Fi
that's right.
at the hotel wasn't really good.
Yeah, that's
So
right. We
we're on
switched
my
over. No, that was
4G.
better.
I don't think I've
Yes.
ever had good Wi-Fi at a
So,
hotel.
I'm usually quite lucky with the Wi-Fi, but this time around, I don't know. Anyway, but my favorite track of the album is actually the title track, Monumentata, because it's the one that grabs a hold of my heart in a certain way. I can even get a little wet-eyed, from and the video comes out in 3 weeks from now. It's a
Oh,
very,
okay.
very good
For that
video.
track, that'll be the third video.
Yes, and then the fourth video will come out the same day the album comes out.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Hmm.
Inside Out knows what they're doing. Thomas Weber, he's a very
Yes.
smart man over there. The 5 records that you've been with Inside Out Music, just amazing. A great 5-album run. Quietly, sneakily, Nad Sylvan is becoming one of the most reliable artists in our beloved genre, Kevin. And it is my honor to have you here. Thank you so much for putting up with the bad connection. But we love you. We
I've
love
been
you,
through
man.
worse. Well, thank you. But I love it. I love anyone that supports my music.
Been a big fan, like I said, ever since that first Agents of Mercy album. That's where I first heard this voice, and I'm like, man, this guy's good, man. And then you see him, right? And then you see Nad, and you hear the voice, and you're like, this guy's destined for big, big things. I'm glad it's happening for you. You deserve it. Hey, Kevin, you got any thing going on over there at Prog Radio that the good boys and girls might need to know about before we sign
Just
off here?
again, we launched the Dragon's Tower, which is our prog metal station. So that one's
Yes.
getting up and running, and
You've got
we're up
3
to 3
channels,
stations
right?
now. Yeah,
3.
we got the modern prog, we got the classic prog, and we got the progressive metal prog. So we got all the bases covered. We definitely love and play Nad. Uniform, I'm a huge fan of that album. I always say that's the missing Genesis album to me. I really love that album.
Well, that's if it wasn't for that album, I wouldn't be here today.
I think so, yeah.
That's
So,
the album that
that was
started it all. What
Yeah,
happened
that
to that
started
guy?
all.
Is he still around?
Bonamici. Oh yeah, I met him just a
Bonamici,
few weeks
yeah.
ago.
Oh, okay.
He came to the show. He came to the show in Gothenburg, and no, he's still. I mean, he's not a professional musician, mind you. He works as a chef. He's a very good
Oh, wow.
one, and it was just like a collaboration of love for the music. And what happened to me, I was just lucky, Roine found me through the Uniform album, and then Steve found me a bit later. I'd been recommended through a promoter of the Night of the Prog Festival in Germany. When he found out that Steve was going to do Genesis, oh, you need to get in touch with Nad Sylvan, he said, and that's how it started, really. I
love hearing those stories. Night of the Prog, just doing his thing. But man, the impact that a lot of people have behind the scenes that go unnoticed. The unsung heroes of Prog, of which we've got with us Kevin from Prog Radio. Absolutely another one of those great unsung heroes of Prog, working countless hours for your benefit, for your listening enjoyment. And what does he get paid for it, Kevin? How much does it cost? Oh, wait a second.
Minus
Prog
a whole bunch of money.
Free.
we pay a lot of money to do this, but we love doing it. So
that's right.
Can I just ask you one? Since you know that I'm in Germany, where are you guys based?
I'm in Tampa, Florida. Scott's in Ohio. He won't tell anybody where.
Secret location in my bat cave in in the
No.
middle of nowhere in Ohio.
Well,
I'm in Florida.
the state will do. The state will do.
Yeah.
I'm just curious because we're so. I mean, it's fantastic how we can sit here and talk and see each other's faces, and we're so scattered around the globe. It's crazy.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I
Yeah,
love you
I
too.
moved here from California, so I've seen you in California when I lived there, and I've definitely seen you in Florida in St. Pete, I believe is where you were playing when you were here last that I saw you guys. But
Technology, it's a good thing. You know, don't be afraid of it. It's going to happen anyway. You know, you can hide, you know, you can run and hide, but it's going to catch up to you, man. It's called the future. We just need to be smart enough to, you know, get our arms around it so we can hopefully have a little bit of control, right? Because AI is here to stay.
you want to see some new tech, Scott?
I do. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Like the stash. Well, there we go. That's pretty good. That's good stuff. Well, anyway, boys and girls, this has been a really interesting show today. I am so happy, though, that we had Nad Sylvan on. You know, we've had Steve Hackett on the show, Kevin. You know, we've had Roine Stolt
I
on
still
the show.
remember. My favorite line with Steve when he was on the show was when you gave his album a 9, and he said, "Why not a 10?"
He didn't like that. He didn't. He thought I was going to give it a 10 just because he was on the show. You know, I keep it real, boys and girls.
9's a big score for you, though. That's what he didn't understand.
Score. Yeah, no,
yeah, he
really
needs to know. No, that's a great score from Scott.
Yeah, no, I don't grade on the curve, man. You get a 9, that's a really, really good record. And honestly, the new Nad Sylvan record is going to knock your socks off, boys and girls. Absolutely will. It comes out June 20th on Inside Out Music. And then the following month, you've got The Lamb Stands Up live at Albert Hall. We're just going to call it the summer of Nad Sylvan. How about that? All right, I'm not. Did you hear him? I didn't hear him.
I couldn't hear it.
No, I didn't hear him. But while we've got the captive audience, boys and girls, I'm here to announce that we are a mere 10 days away from the return of the Son of Clickbait Week. Oh, it's going to be a glorious week on the YouTube channel. The Prog Corner numbers, they just go sky high when we do it. People love the clickbaity stuff. So I'm going to give it to them all week long. That's not this week. That's next week. Give myself a little bit of time. It's the wifey's birthday week. So, you know, maybe I'll even take a day off from this silly YouTube thing. Who knows? But anyway, boys and girls, I love you. Peace in the Middle East. Free Tibet, free your mind, free beer, free William. God save the king. Oh, Nad Sylvan, we're going to save the king. And then you know what we're going to do, Kevin? We're going to dance with them rattlesnakes. Oh, get them snakes in here. Oh, look at the, oh, no. It's time for the rattlesnakes. Kevin, they're going to get me out. Oh, Jesus. Oh. Anyway, I love you guys. I'll see you when I see you. Peace. Thanks, Nad. Thank you for being here. You're the best.